Suddenly, someone shouted. Many people's eyes lit up. A young man in a blood-red robe with a dull look in his eyes was a man of sacrifice from the Heavenly Corpse sect. He walked up the stairs and stepped into the fighting ring. When he stepped onto the battle platform, the Book of Fate appeared before him. The Book of Fate turned into a small worm and appeared above the young man's head. However, the next moment, the worm collapsed and a beam of light appeared above the young man's head. With a flash, the young man was transported away and appeared in a seat in the Heavenly Corpse sect's area. No one was surprised at all. In the first stage of the Battle of Providence, the map was constantly changing, but in the second stage, the ancient city of Providence was the same every time. This man of sacrifice from the Heavenly Corpse sect obviously did not have enough luck points and had been eliminated early. If one wanted to qualify for the next round of the Battle of Providence, they had to obtain a certain amount of luck points. If their luck points did not meet the standard, all the luck points they had obtained before would disappear and be wasted. They would be transported to the spectator stands and eliminated early. This was the same every Battle of Providence. Next, more and more people walked up. However, those who walked up at the beginning were those who had obtained very little luck points. Their books of fate turned into small worms, collapsed, and were transported away. The number of people in the spectator stands gradually increased. At first, most of them were men of sacrifice. Then, it was some young geniuses and geniuses. Someone's book of fate condensed into a small snake. It was many times larger than the previous worm, but it still collapsed and was eliminated early. As many as thousands of people were eliminated. Suddenly, there was a flash of light. A young man in a green robe had his book of fate collapsed and turned into a giant python. The giant python roared majestically. It was many times stronger than the previous worms and snakes. Moreover, the giant python did not collapse. It circled above his head, and he was not transported to the spectator stands. He remained in the fighting ring. The Python of Fate. Only those with more than 3,000 luck points can transform their luck into a python. Only then are they qualified to retain their luck and enter the Battle of Providence. An elder in the Emperor Sky Divine Palace said. The young man was ecstatic. If Lu Ming were here, he would definitely recognize this young man. He was Qin Qingshan, ranked 999th on the list of top 1,000 talents. He had barely qualified for the next round. The next young men who walked up were all able to transform their luck into pythons. The giant pythons circled above their heads. It was a spectacular sight. In the end, more than 1,000 people were able to transform their luck into pythons. Roar! Suddenly, a roar reverberated throughout the entire arena, attracting everyone's attention. A 3-meter-long flood dragon condensed above a young man's head. It was even more majestic and powerful than the giant pythons. The Python of Fate. Only those with more than 10,000 luck points could transform their luck into a python. Between 3,000 and 10,000 luck points could transform one's luck into a python. Between 10,000 and 100,000 luck points could transform one's luck into a python. Above 100,000 luck points could transform one's luck into a dragon. Depending on the number of luck points one had, the length of the true dragon would also be different. Starting from this young man, the stage of transforming his luck into a python began. Talisman Puppet Sect. I didn't expect so many of your disciples to still be alive. The Wang family head looked at the Talisman Puppet Sect and sneered. Now that there were quite a number of Talisman Puppet Sect disciples, Bai Shijin and the rest were slightly relieved. I've said that the Talisman Puppet Sect disciples have their own opportunities. How could they die so easily? But it seems like you've lost quite a few people. Bai Shijin sneered. Hee. The main thing is to see how many of your Talisman Puppet Sect's so-called peerless geniuses can stay. The Wang family head sneered. Those who could transform their luck into a python were definitely the cream of the crop. This was because the young man who had transformed his luck into a python was a god-grade supreme talent. The supreme talents who came up later were the core of each sect. Heavens, why is it so heavy? At this moment, Lu Ming had also stepped onto the stairs. However, he felt as if a few hundred mountains were pressing down on him. It was simply difficult to move forward. Every step took a lot of effort. Lu Ming gritted his teeth and climbed up with difficulty. On the stairs, Lu Ming saw that the Emperor God, Shui Jiani of the Heavenly Corpse sect, and a burly young man of the Sky Demon Valley were also walking very slowly. Their bodies were slightly trembling as they slowly moved forward. The fatty was also very slow, but relatively speaking, he was much faster than Lu Ming. Ha ha ha, Lu Ming, why are you so slow? I've finally surpassed you. The fatty grinned happily. His fat jiggled as he walked forward step by step, walking in front of the Emperor God and the rest. Similarly, there was another person who was also very slow. That was Bai Qi Shui. However, her speed was slightly faster than the fatty. In addition, Huan Jin also fell behind Bai Qi Shui. Chapter 958. Slowly, the number of people on the stairs decreased. Around the stage, the upper echelons of the various factions were still staring at the stairs. At this moment, there were close to 300 people on the stage who could transform their luck into a dragon. The 300 dragons were of different lengths. The shortest one was 10 feet long, while the longest was 99 feet long. At this moment, Bai Shijin, Du Songjue, and the others' faces were getting worse. Only a few of the 13 Zongzi candidates had come up. The Wang family head's face was also ugly. He didn't see Wang Chong and Wang Chun. These people should have appeared in the crowd of people who could transform their luck into a dragon. It couldn't be that so many people could transform their luck into a dragon, right? In history, there were very few people who could transform their luck into a dragon. They were all monsters among monsters. Qi Shui, Lu Ming. Bai Shijin's heart skipped a beat. Lu Ming and Bai Qi Shui didn't appear. Lu Ming might be able to transform his luck into a dragon, but Qi Shui, Bai Shijin was sad. He knew that with Bai Qi Shui's cultivation, it was almost impossible for her to obtain such a high amount of luck unless she had a heaven-defying opportunity. Roar. Suddenly, a dragon's roar shook the surroundings and interrupted Bai Shijin's thoughts. Bai Shijin hurriedly looked over and was immediately overjoyed. Bai Qi Shui. He saw Bai Qi Shui. At this moment, a 5-clawed dragon appeared above Bai Qi Shui's head. It was about 10 feet long and it suppressed all the pythons and dragons. Luck transforming into a dragon. Bai Qi Shui's luck could transform into a dragon. This was completely out of Bai Shijin's expectations. The other eminent elders of the Talisman Puppet sect were also overjoyed. Bai Qi Shui had obviously obtained a great opportunity. Without cultivation, what's the use of obtaining so many luck points? You'll have to spit them out later. Seeing that the 2 top prodigies of the Wang family didn't appear, the Wang family head was in a bad mood and he sneered. Bai Shijin and the others' faces changed. That's right, in a while, there will be a fight. Bai Qi Shui has a lot of luck points, but her cultivation is not strong. She will definitely be targeted by many people. As expected, the surrounding geniuses all stared at Bai Qi Shui with unfriendly gazes. When they discovered that Bai Qi Shui's cultivation base was indeed not high, all of their eyes burned with passion. Roar. At that moment, another prodigy stepped forward. Similarly, a true dragon appeared above his head as his fate transformed into a dragon. It's Nangong Bo. Someone shouted. Haha, Boer is not bad. Nangong family head smiled. No one was surprised that Nangong Bo was ranked 32nd on the list of top 1,000 talents. The true dragon formed by Nangong Bo's luck was about the same length as Bai Qi's snow dragon, about 30 meters long. Next, those who ascended the stairs were all dragons of destiny. Most of them ranked above Nangong Bo on the list of top 1,000 talents. Of course, there were some who were special. There were also some who were ranked below Nangong Bo, but they were very few. There were even those who had not made it onto the list of top 1,000 talents. For example, the Heavenly Corpse Sect's Corpse King. There were also the Sky Monster Valley's prodigies. Those who could transform their luck into dragons were all monsters among monsters. They were extremely powerful. There were very few people like Bai Qi Shui, who had obtained great opportunities and accumulated luck points. Ru Kong. Soon, Bai Shijing, Du Songjue, and the others were overjoyed to see another prodigy from the Talisman Puppet sect transform his luck into a dragon. Ru Kong was ranked second only to Huan Zhan in the Talisman Puppet sect. The true dragon above his head was 15 meters long. 10,000 was 10 meters, which meant that Rukong had obtained about 150,000 luck points. As for Wen Yuezhong and the others, they were only dragons of destiny. It seems that Guan Tao, Lu Song, and the others have all died. By Shi Jin, Du Songjue, and the others' side, Rukong had appeared, and now there was Huan Zhun. Of course, there was also Lu Ming. But could Lu Ming really transform his luck into a dragon? He had not appeared yet. Everyone was unsure and worried. However, Yin Kuangtu and Supreme Nine Yang were very calm. As for the three sovereigns, they did not say a word and just watched quietly. This was especially true for the demonic beast emperor. A layer of colorful light emanated from her body and enveloped her. Otherwise, with her allure that could turn all living things upside down, many young people would probably go crazy just by looking at her. Bam! Another young man stepped onto the fighting ring with heavy footsteps. Demon Lord Luo Tian. Someone exclaimed. Finally, someone in the top 10 of the list of top 1,000 talents had appeared. As soon as Luo Tian appeared, the Book of Destiny transformed into a true dragon that was 16 meters long. Next, a few more people stepped onto the stage. They were all in the top 10 of the list of top 1,000 talents. One of them was even a new prodigy, which shocked everyone. Every one of them had a dragon of destiny that was greater than Luo Tian's, and one of them even had a dragon of 20 meters long. Bam! A fat figure stepped onto the fighting ring. It's him. Many people were shocked. Most people in the Emperor Sky Divine Palace knew this fat man. He was the disciple of the demonic Sky Divine Emperor and had a good relationship with Lu Ming. Roar! A dragon roared as a 25-meter-long true dragon condensed above the fat man's head, suppressing the true dragons of Luo Tian and the others. This caused many people to be incomparably shocked. This fatty had actually accumulated so many luck points. However, some people felt better when they remembered that the fat man was the disciple of an emperor. How many people in the eastern wilderness could be accepted as disciples by an emperor? It was normal for some people to be special. After the fat man, those who stepped onto the stage were all over 25 meters long. Bam! A young man with purple flames all over his body stepped onto the fighting ring. Wang Finshan. The Wang family head's eyes lit up when he saw this young man. Everyone's eyes were focused on this young man. Wang Finshan of the Wang family was ranked 5th on the list of top 1,000 talents. He was also the only one in the Wang family who was in the top 10. He was extremely powerful. The true dragon above Wang Finshan's head was 30 meters long. Immediately after Wang Finshan, a very elegant young man stepped onto the fighting ring. The true dragon above his head was 31 meters long. It was 10 meters longer than Wang Finshan. Dongfang Yu. A name popped up in everyone's mind. She was a peerless genius of the ancient Dongfang family and ranked 3rd on the list of top 1,000 talents. Then, a beautiful woman stepped out. She was a genius of the demon clan, and her luck dragon was even longer than Dongfang Yu's. Bam! Bam! More people stepped onto the fighting ring. Some people recognized that they were the geniuses of the Heavenly Corpse sect. Clang! A blood-red sword chi shot out as a scarlet-robed young man stepped onto the fighting ring. The luck dragon on his body had reached an astonishing 40 meters long. Shuejini was the strongest among the younger generation of the Heavenly Corpse sect and ranked 2nd on the list of top 1,000 talents. Since Shuejini has appeared, I think only Dishin and AO2 from the Sky Monster Valley are left. That's right. AO2 from the Sky Monster Valley is a rare genius among the Flood Dragons. He can compete with Dishin. I wonder who will get more luck points this time. I think it will be Dishin. Although AO2 is strong, he's still weaker than Dishin. Look, someone is coming up. Chapter 959. A muscular young man who was more than 2 meters tall stepped into the fighting ring. The fighting ring rumbled as a true dragon appeared above his head and roared. 460 feet. He was AO2 from Sky Monster Valley. His luck dragon was 460 feet long, which was 60 feet longer than Shuejini's. However, since he had come up earlier, everyone knew that the sovereign god had probably obtained more luck points. AO2 turned around and looked at the stairs, his eyes shining. Bang! Bang! At the top of the stairs, there was a rumbling sound. Soon, a handsome face appeared. It was Dishun. Dishun took slow steps, as if they were extremely heavy. Bang! Finally, he took a step forward and a true dragon appeared above his head. 560 feet, 560 feet long. Gosh, no wonder the Emperor God is ranked first on the list of top 1,000 talents. His Dragon of Providence, which is 560 feet long, overpowered the rest and took first place. Yes, it's already 560 feet long. When the Battle of Luck starts, it will have a chance to reach 1,000 feet long. Exclamations came from all around. Haha, congratulations, Your Majesty. Dishun is just like Your Majesty when you were young. Maybe there will be another martial royal realm expert in our Emperor Divine Palace. Congratulations. The head of the Wang family congratulated Martial Emperor De. Yes, Brother Wang is right. Congratulations, Your Majesty. Patriarch Jiang and the others also congratulated Emperor De. Lu Ming, Bai Shijin, Du Songjue, and the others cried out in sorrow. Even the Emperor God had appeared. There should be no one behind him. Could it be that Lu Ming had already died? Even Yin Kuang-tu and Supreme Nine Sons were a little shaken, and their eyes dimmed. Compared to the top 10 on the list of top 1,000 talents, Lu Ming was still too weak. Was this the end? However, they did not notice that Dishun, Ao2, Shuejiani, and the others were still looking at the stairs. The sovereigns also stared at the stairs, as if they could sense something. At this time, the others also noticed something strange and looked at the stairs. Was there someone else? How could this be? Monarch God, Ao2, and Shuejiani had all appeared. Was there someone else who had yet to ascend? Impossible. Who could obtain more luck points than the Monarch God? Unless someone deliberately stayed on the stairs and waited until the end to come up to attract attention. It wasn't like there weren't such people in history. However, the crowd couldn't help but stare at it curiously. Bang! A slight vibration could be heard. There was really someone. The eyes of Bai Shijin, Yin Kuang-tu, and the others lit up. If there were still people, then there was still hope. Bang! Bang! At first, it was very soft, but slowly, it became louder and clearer. In the end, it was as if there was an earthquake. Every explosion sounded like a mountain smashing into the ground. Finally, a handsome face appeared in front of everyone. It's Lu Ming. The eyes of Bai Shijin, Yin Kuang-tu, and the others suddenly lit up, emitting a bright light. Lu Ming, it's him. It's actually him. He's the last one. How is this possible? I think he's pretending to be the last one to ascend. In fact, he didn't obtain much luck points. It's impossible for him to have more luck points than the Monarch God. It must be so. It's already good enough that he can transform his luck into a dragon. There was a burst of discussion around. At this time, Lu Ming was trembling all over and gasping for breath. My nest, why is it so heavy? It's too heavy. Lu Ming cursed in his heart. He felt like he was carrying hundreds of mountains on his back as he climbed the stairs. He was half dead tired. He was envious of the others who were as light as a swallow. Bang! Finally, he stepped onto the battle platform. The entire platform rumbled violently. When Lu Ming stepped onto the platform, his body suddenly became lighter and all the pressure disappeared without a trace. At the same time, the Book of Luck appeared and collapsed. A luck dragon appeared above Lu Ming's head. Roar! Dragon roars reverberated as a mighty and extraordinary true dragon coiled up, looking awe-inspiring. More importantly, the true dragon was 80 feet long. Yes, 80 feet. The scene was silent. Everyone was stunned as they stared blankly at the young man on the platform and the true dragon that was 80 feet long. 80 feet. How was that possible? How could Lu Ming obtain such a terrifying amount of luck points? Even Yin Kuang-tu, Supreme Nine Sons, Bai Shijin, and the Supremes of the other major forces were stunned. 80 feet. How is that possible? Lu Ming, that little bastard. How could he obtain such a high amount of luck points? How is that possible? The Wang family head was the first to cry out in disbelief. He was a Supremes and had a stable state of mind. He could remain calm in the face of any major event. However, This matter was so shocking that he couldn't help but cry out in surprise. Could it be that his strength has improved to such a level in the battle of luck? The amount of luck points he obtained has reached 80 feet. The Jiang family head was also shocked. Ha ha ha, Lu Ming, well done. I knew this kid could do it. Yin Guangtu was stunned for a moment and then laughed. Supreme Nine Sun's eyes flickered with joy. Meanwhile, by Shi Jin, Du Songjue, and the other upper echelons of the Talisman Puppet sect were overjoyed. This was truly beyond their expectations. Although they had given Lu Ming the first place in the Battle of Luck, they knew that the condition was too high. They had raised the condition on purpose to put pressure on Lu Ming. In their hearts, it was fine as long as Lu Ming could come in the top 10. To their surprise, Lu Ming actually came in first. Although there was still the Battle of Luck to come, at this moment, Lu Ming had become the focus of the crowd. Everyone's gaze was fixed on him. Roar! Above his head, the 80-feet true dragon of luck roared into the sky, looking down at the other dragons of luck, the serpent of luck, and the giant serpents. Even the monarch god's true dragon of luck was a lot shorter than Lu Ming's. It's just that we attracted the opponent's experts in the end, and then relied on the treasure to launch a surprise attack. All this luck will belong to me in the end. I will make you spit it all out. At this moment, the monarch god spoke coldly. That's right. The guy who hides in the dark and takes advantage of others is just relying on treasures and surprise. How can you get so many luck points with your true ability? Demon Lord Luo Tian also sneered, full of disdain. They all thought that Lu Ming had obtained so many luck points because he had obtained the totem pole in the end. Chapter 960. Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. He knew that although the last totem pole had given him a lot of luck points, it wasn't that much. The last totem pole gave him about 200,000 luck points, which was about the same as the totem pole on Sky Poison Island. The reason why he had about 800,000 luck points was that he had killed more than a dozen talents from the Bloodsaber continent. Among the talents from the Bloodsaber continent, 2 of them were equivalent to the top 10 on the list of top 1,000 talents. Each of them had contributed more than 100,000 luck points to him. Together with the luck points from the others and the previous ones, Lu Ming had obtained 800,000 luck points. But the Emperor God, Luo Tian, Wang Fengchen, and the others didn't know. They thought that the last totem pole must have rewarded a huge amount of luck points, which was why Lu Ming had so many luck points. The others suddenly understood. I see. I was wondering how Lu Ming could get so many luck points. It turns out that he used despicable means to get them. The Wang family head sneered. What's the point of getting them like that? He won't be able to protect himself in the battle of luck. Countless people will be watching him. His luck points will be taken away. The Jiang family head sneered. True enough, at this moment, many pairs of eyes were staring at Lu Ming with burning desire. There was a look of greed in them. The top 10, 20, and even the top 30 on the list of top 1,000 talents, including the rising talents and the talents from the Sky Demon Valley, were all looking at Lu Ming eagerly. It was as if Lu Ming was a big piece of meat that everyone wanted to take a bite out of. 800,000 luck points. If he defeated or even killed Lu Ming, how many luck points could he obtain? Their hearts were thumping wildly. The Emperor God, AO2, and the others also had a lot of luck points, but none of them dared to have any ideas. Wasn't it courting death to try and get the attention of Di Shun and the others? However, Lu Ming merely relied on luck and treasures to obtain so many luck points. If that was not a fat piece of meat, then what was? Only a few people looked serious. For example, Brother Li Tian and Nangong Bo. They had all fought Lu Ming before and knew how powerful Lu Ming was. This was especially true for Nangong Bo. Even he had lost to Lu Ming. After that, nearly half a year had passed. Lu Ming must have become even stronger. This piece of fatty meat might not be tasty. However, the matter of Nangong Bo losing to Lu Ming was not spread out. Almost no one knew about it. So besides the members of the Talisman Puppet sect, there were very few people that knew of Lu Ming's combat strength. The corners of the mouths of many people from the Talisman Puppet sect curled up into cold smiles. They had seen how powerful Lu Ming was. He had easily killed several geniuses from the Blood Knife continent who were comparable to the top 10 on the list of top 1,000 talents. Lu Ming was not a piece of meat, but a knife that could kill. What kind of expression would they have when they saw Lu Ming's battle prowess? Many talisman puppet sect disciples revealed expressions of anticipation. However, deep down, they were still a little worried. Although Lu Ming was strong, he was still a threat to Di Shun, Ao2, and Shuejiani. After Lu Ming stepped onto the stage, there was no one else behind him. The number of people who were qualified to participate in the battle for providence had also been determined. About 1,000 people could transform their providence into a python. About 300 people could transform their providence into a python. Only about 60 people could transform their providence into a dragon. These 60 people included the geniuses from the Sky Monster Valley and the Rising Geniuses. Therefore, only the top 30 geniuses on the list of top 1,000 talents could achieve this. Of course, there were exceptions. Some of the lower-ranked geniuses could achieve this, while some of the top 30 did not. Buzz. At this moment, the fighting ring vibrated slightly and glowed. The fighting ring is turning into a battlefield. Let's go to the spectator stands first. Someone shouted and flew to the spectator stands. The geniuses on the fighting ring flashed and flew to the surrounding fighting rings, landing in their respective areas. In an instant, there was no one left on the fighting ring. Buzz. The fighting ring glowed and suddenly, 8 semicircular light shields like bubbles appeared, dividing the fighting ring into 8 parts. Mountains and rivers slowly appeared in the light shields, as if a world was evolving. Everyone was well aware of this point. Later, the fighting ring would evolve into 8 different areas, forming 8 battlefields. All the geniuses who had transformed their providence into pythons would be automatically divided into 8 groups and enter the 8 battlefields to compete. As long as they defeated their opponents, they would obtain 50% of their opponent's providence. Those who lost would be eliminated and sent out. In the end, they would keep half of their providence. Once they killed their opponents, they would obtain all of their opponent's providence. However, their opponents could also admit defeat, but once they did, they would lose 90% of their providence and only 10% would be left. It could be said that the weaker ones were destined to lose their providence to the stronger ones. However, it was not completely hopeless. The battle for providence lasted for an hour. As long as one could survive an hour, they would be able to keep all of their providence when the battle for providence ended. In the end, the person with the strongest providence in each battlefield would be able to advance. In the last 8 battlefields, the 8 people with the strongest providence would be selected for the final battle to continue competing for each other's providence. That was why so many people were staring at Lu Ming fervently. In their opinion, Lu Ming was a piece of juicy meat. Everyone watched quietly. It would take some time for the battlefields to evolve. At this time, Lu Ming quietly came to Bai Shijin's side. "Senior Bai, I have a favor to ask of you." Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Bai Shijin. "What is it? Just say it." Bai Shijin also transmitted his voice to Lu Ming. "I obtained a treasure in the Battle of Providence. It's called the Mountain River Diagram." Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Bai Shijin. After that, the mountain river painting appeared in his hand, and he handed it to Bai Shijin. "There's actually such a wonderful treasure. Don't worry, I'll get it done for you. It won't take much time." Bai Shijin took the mountain river painting and then retreated silently. In a flash, he disappeared into the teleportation vortex and left the place. Almost no one noticed him. At this time, everyone's attention was on the fighting ring below. Time passed slowly. A few minutes later, the 8 areas covered by the light barrier were completed, forming 8 worlds. 8 different worlds. Some were mountains and forests, some were deserts, some were rocks, some were swamps. The 8 light shields each had a diameter of about 10 miles. Therefore, from the outside, the mountains and forests looked very small, like miniature figures. But many people knew that this was the battlefield of 100,000 miles. Each battlefield was 100,000 miles long and wide. The area was not small. Buzz. The light shield shone and the battlefields were completed. A number appeared on the light shields of each battlefield. They were 1, 2, 3. All the way up to 8 represented 8 battlefields. At this time, Light beams shot out from the 8 battlefields and fell on the young people who were going to participate in the battle for Providence. Chapter 961. A number appeared above everyone's head, representing the number of the battlefield they would enter. The number above Lu Ming's head was 8, which meant that Lu Ming would enter the 8th battlefield. Lu Ming glanced around and found that some disciples of the Talisman Puppet sect also had the number 8. Bai Qi Shui was also on the 8th battlefield. The Fatty was on the 2nd battlefield, Ruan Tingting was on the 3rd battlefield, and Huan Zhan was on the 4th battlefield. Haha, Lu Ming, you're also on the 8th battlefield, and that chick. Suddenly, a burst of excited laughter was heard. Lu Ming looked towards the source of the laughter and found that it was actually Luo Tian. The number above his head was also on the 8th battlefield. His eyes were cold and fiery as he looked at Lu Ming and Bai Qi Shui. In addition, many Sky Prides who were assigned to the 8th battlefield were also looking at Lu Ming and Bai Qi Shui with fiery eyes. Damn, Luo Tian's luck is heaven-defying. He's actually assigned to the same battlefield as Lu Ming and that chick. These two are obviously fat meat that will give him good luck. Yeah, Luo Tian's luck is too good. Most importantly, there aren't any experts in the 8th battlefield. Look, Di Xin and the others are not on the 8th battlefield. There's only one Sky Pride from the Sky Monster Valley who can compete with Luo Tian in the 8th battlefield. There aren't any other strong experts. Luo Tian's luck is too good. I'm envious. The surrounding Sky Prides revealed an envious expression. Lu Ming sneered and looked around. He found that Di Shun was assigned to the 1st battlefield. AO2 was assigned to the 7th battlefield. Shuejian was assigned to the 3rd battlefield. Wang Fenchen was assigned to the 2nd battlefield. Those who were stronger than Luo Tian were actually not on the 8th battlefield. At this moment, Luo Tian was so excited that he wanted to roar. Luck. His luck was too good. Not only was he assigned to the same battlefield as Lu Ming, but those stronger Sky Prides were also not assigned to the 8th battlefield. His luck was simply heaven-defying. When he looked at Lu Ming, his eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent and burning greed. Another genius from the Sky Demon Valley was just as excited as Luo Tian. He was also a peerless genius from the Sky Demon Valley. His reputation wasn't any weaker than Luo Tian's. He was also a terrifying existence. At this moment, his emotions were exactly the same as Luo Tian's. He was extremely excited. Di Shun, Shuejiani, and the others harumphed coldly. They had missed out on Lu Ming. In their view, Lu Ming's destiny was destined to be snatched away by someone. The faces of Du Songjue and the others turned solemn. Lu Ming, Qi Shui, the battle will last for an hour. Try to drag it out as long as you can. If the situation doesn't look good, admit defeat immediately, understand? The two of you will definitely be targeted. Du Songjue warned seriously. Senior Du, don't worry. I know what to do. As for Bai, Lu Ming smiled, looking at Bai Qi Shui. Bai Qi Shui widened her eyes and stared at him without blinking. Bai, Qi Shui, once we enter the battlefield, find a place to inscribe a defensive array. I will go find you. If you can't win, admit defeat as soon as possible. Lu Ming said, You will come find me, right? Bai Qi Shui stared at Lu Ming and asked, Yes. Lu Ming touched his nose speechlessly. Hee, then I will definitely persevere until you come find me. Bai Qi Shui laughed happily. Lu Ming was even more speechless. Yin Kuangtu, Du Songjue, and the others revealed a I see expression and an inexplicable smile. Rukong, you will be in the same battlefield as Di Shun. If you encounter Di Shun, admit defeat immediately, understand? Du Songjue looked at Rukong and instructed. Rukong was Du Songjue's disciple. I understand. Rukong nodded. Buzz. At this moment, there was a fluctuation in the space. Lu Ming and the others felt a force pulling them, and they were pulled towards the 8 battlefields. Lu Ming, Bai Qi Shui, and the others flew towards the light shield of the 8th battlefield. As they approached the light barrier, their bodies began to strangely shrink. Finally, they entered the light barrier and disappeared. In the next moment, Lu Ming appeared in a barren mountain full of stone walls. The 8th battlefield was filled with barren mountains and stone cliffs. It was desolate without a single blade of grass or tree. There were only stone cliffs and rocks everywhere. I heard that everything in this battlefield is very hard. Let's give it a try. Lu Ming threw a punch at a giant stone. Boom. Only a corner of the giant stone was broken. The rest of the stone was intact. It's so hard. Although I didn't use my full strength, the punch just now could shatter a few mountains outside. Here, it can only break a corner of a giant stone. Lu Ming sighed secretly. Here, he could unleash his combat strength to his heart's content. Let's go find Qi Shui. With a step, Lu Ming's figure soared into the sky, turning into a ray of light and disappearing into the horizon. Although this battlefield was 100,000 miles long and wide, it really wasn't big for these geniuses who were participating in the battle for Providence. An hour was enough for them to go back and forth many times. Among those who could turn Providence into a python, the weakest was at Qin Qingshan's level. After such a long time, Qin Qingshan's cultivation had already reached the 7th level of the spiritual sea realm. It could be said that among those who participated in this battle, the weakest cultivation was at the 7th level of the spiritual sea realm. The 7th level of the spiritual sea realm was extremely fast. It really didn't take much time to cross the distance of 100,000 miles. Outside the battlefield, everyone was watching with their eyes wide open. From the outside, the 100,000-mile territory had shrunk to 10 miles. It had shrunk by 10,000 times. If a person was placed inside, it was almost impossible to see. But those who had reached the spiritual God realm, or even the supreme realm, had terrifying eyesight. In their eyes, they could still clearly see the movements of everyone inside the light shield. Not good. There's an expert heading towards Qi Shui. A senior elder of the Talisman Puppet sect cried out worriedly. At this moment, Bai Qi Shui was in a stone forest, constantly inscribing inscriptions and setting up a formation to prepare for defense. I hope that girl Qi Shui can't take it and quickly admit defeat. Du Songjue was a little worried. Just a moment ago, they knew that Bai Qi Shui had obtained the emperor's inheritance, and they were incomparably excited. Bai Qi Shui's value in their hearts had risen. Nothing could happen to Bai Qi Shui. Even if she lost 90% of her providence, nothing could happen to Bai Qi Shui. After Bai Qi Shui obtained the emperor's inheritance, her cultivation in the path of inscription had increased a lot. With a wave of her finger, endless inscriptions entered the mountain forest. In just a few minutes, who knew how many inscriptions had been inscribed? Ha ha ha, it's the girl from the Talisman Puppet sect. My luck is too good. With a loud laugh, a genius from the Heavenly Corpse sect appeared. A 15-foot-long flood dragon of Providence appeared above the genius of the Heavenly Corpse sect. His eyes were blazing as he stared at the 30-meter-long flood dragon of Providence above Bai Qi Shui's head. He wished for nothing more than to swallow Bai Qi Shui whole. This girl is mine. A cold voice sounded. The sky trembled as another figure appeared. It was a young man with a gloomy gaze. Demonic qi surged from his body, and there was also a 20-meter-long flood dragon of Providence above his head. If you want this girl's providence, then it'll depend on your ability. Chapter 962. In their opinion, Bai Qi Shui was just a piece of meat on a chopping board that could be slaughtered at any time. Their opponent was the other party. Therefore, the two sides confronted each other. Then I'll kill you first before dealing with this chick. The Sky Monster Valley's genius released a shocking murderous intent. In a flash, he pounced towards the Heavenly Corpse sect's genius. You're courting death. The Heavenly Corpse sect's genius also shouted coldly, and the two of them started fighting. Bai Qi Shui was stunned for a moment, but she seized the opportunity to quickly inscribe array formations. She had already inscribed countless array formations. Swoosh! Suddenly, a golden spear light pierced through from the other side. Its target was Bai Qi Shui. It was a genius from the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace, and his eyes flashed with pride. In his opinion, the Heavenly Corpse sect and Sky Monster Valley's geniuses were really stupid. They actually started fighting, which was good for him. He wanted to kill Bai Qi Shui in one fell swoop and obtain Bai Qi Shui's 100,000 luck points. Oh no! There are others. The geniuses from the Heavenly Corpse sect and Sky Monster Valley wanted to stop him, but it was too late. Rise. At this moment, Bai Chi Shui shouted. She took a step forward, and an array formation appeared. A huge ancient shield appeared in front of her. Bam! The spear light pierced the shield, and there was a loud boom. However, the shield did not break, and it only shook a little. What a tough shield! The young man in the golden robe appeared with a cold look in his eyes. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Suddenly, the long spear in his hand pierced 16 times in a row. 16 spear lights pierced through the void and pierced towards Bai Chi Shui. Bai Chi Shui shouted. Her fingers danced, and another array formation shone. This time, more than a dozen array formations shone at the same time. More than a dozen ancient shields appeared, blocking Bai Chi Shui from all directions. At the same time, a circle of light enveloped her. From the very beginning, the formations that Bai Chi Shui had set up were all defensive formations. Her goal was to defend. As long as she defended, she would wait for Lu Ming. She believed that Lu Ming would definitely arrive. Clang, clang, clang. More than a dozen spear lights pierced the ancient shield, but the shield only shook for a moment and blocked all of them. It couldn't be broken. The young man in the golden robe looked at the Heavenly Corpse sect geniuses. Everyone, this chick has some skills. Of the array formation defense of the array of us, if we waste too much time, or demon Luo of the demon of. Oh, of us, the, of us with the. With you. All right, let's do that. Let's attack together. The three parties reached an agreement and attacked at the same time. Instantly, Bai Chi Shui's defense began to shake violently. In the outside world, Du Songjue and the others were worried. Chi Shui's defensive formation is quite mysterious. It must be related to the inheritance that she obtained. However, she won't be able to hold on for long if the three geniuses join forces. The founding elders were discussing. Oh no, Lu Ming is going to meet an expert. One of the founding elders suddenly shouted. The others hurriedly looked in Lu Ming's direction. Lu Ming was flying at top speed. He had already flown for tens of thousands of miles. Whoosh! Suddenly, a terrifying saber light slashed toward Lu Ming from the side. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. He suddenly stopped and dodged the saber light. A young man with a saber on his back appeared in front of Lu Ming. Haha, I didn't expect to be so lucky to meet you first. Lu Ming, your luck points are mine. The young man with the saber looked excited and ecstatic. He really didn't expect to meet Lu Ming first. There weren't many top experts in Battlefield number 8, but there were many weaker ones. For example, there were many geniuses in the top 100 of the list of top 1,000 talents. He, Luo Dao, was ranked 48th on the list of top 1,000 talents. In his opinion, he could kill Lu Ming. After killing Lu Ming and obtaining Lu Ming's luck points, he would find a place to hide. After an hour, he would be able to obtain a huge amount of luck points. Luck. Get lost. Lu Ming strode forward. Haha, die. Luo Dao unsheathed his saber. The dazzling saber light seemed to be able to split the world as it slashed toward Lu Ming. On the spectator stand, Du Songjue and the rest could not help but feel anxious. Would Lu Ming be able to block this saber? Not only the Talisman Puppet Sect, but the experts from Emperor Heaven Divine Palace, Heavenly Corpse Sect, and Sky Demon Valley were also watching Lu Ming. Lu Ming, that little bastard. If he doesn't admit defeat, he'll be dead. Luo Dao is a rare genius among the Emperor Heaven Imperial Guard. The Wang family head sneered. But before he could finish, he froze. This was because Luo Dao was already dead. Lu Ming did not stop moving. He stabbed out with his spear, and a spear light that was 10 times brighter than Luo Dao's saber light pierced through the void. It shattered his saber light and pierced through Luo Dao's throat. Luo Dao's eyes widened. They were filled with doubt, shock, and indignation. How could Lu Ming be so powerful? How could he kill him with a single strike? At this moment, he was filled with regret. Did Lu Ming really obtain so many luck points by luck? This was the last thought in his mind. Roar. Once Luo Dao died, the luck dragon above Lu Ming's head swallowed Luo Dao's luck dragon. Then, Lu Ming's luck dragon grew by another 6 feet. Everyone around the spectator stand was silent. The Wang family head was extremely embarrassed. Du Songjue and the others were overjoyed. It seems that Lu Ming's ability to obtain an 80-feet dragon of luck is not completely useless. He is quite capable. An elder from the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace said, Luo Dao is only ranked 48th on the list of top 1,000 talents. There are many people stronger than him. He's the target of all. Even if he's capable, he's still going to die. The Wang family head said coldly. On the battlefield, Lu Ming put away Luo Dao's storage ring and was about to continue flying forward. Suddenly, there was a sound in front of him. Another young man appeared and blocked Lu Ming's path. This young man was full of corpse qi and had a fierce look in his eyes. Shi Ming, ranked 30th on the list of top 1,000 talents. Someone shouted. Haha, let's see how Lu Ming is going to die now. The Wang family head laughed. Some people from the Heavenly Corpse sect also smiled. If Shi Ming could obtain Lu Ming's luck, it would be a great thing for the Heavenly Corpse sect. You killed Luo Dao? Hee, you seem to have some combat strength. But you're dead meat now that you've met me. Shi Ming sneered. Above his head, a 99 feet long flood dragon circled. He was almost at the stage of transforming his luck into a dragon. You're courting death. Lu Ming did not stop. He strode forward and punched out. You're the one who's going to die. Shi Ming waved his hand, and a refined corpse pounced on Lu Ming and punched out. Bam! Chapter 963. Go, go! Shi Ming roared and controlled 2 refined corpses to charge at Lu Ming. Bang! Bang! With 2 loud explosions, the 2 refined corpses exploded. Lu Ming's fist suddenly sped up and released a terrifying pressure, locking Shi Ming in place. Shi Ming's eyes widened and he growled, No, no, how can he be so strong? I have to block it. Corpse qi surged from his body, and he used all his strength to hit Lu Ming with his palm. This palm was extremely terrifying, but it was like a piece of paper in front of Lu Ming. The terrifying fist force directly penetrated Shi Ming's body. At this moment, it was too late for him to admit defeat. Bang! His body was torn into pieces. The 99 feet long flood dragon was swallowed by Lu Ming's Dragon of Providence in one gulp. Lu Ming's Dragon of Providence had grown by nearly 100 feet, reaching nearly 96 feet. It was only a few feet away from 100 feet. A terrifying devouring power burst out from his palm and devoured Luo Dao and Shi Ming's blood essence and genuine core strength. Then, his body swayed and he flew forward. His eyes scanned the surrounding thousands of miles, looking for Bai Qixue. On the spectator stand, the people from the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace and the Heavenly Corpse sect all looked gloomy. Lu Ming's combat strength was beyond their expectations. Lu Ming had easily killed a genius ranked 30th on the list of top 1,000 talents. How could Lu Ming's combat strength be so strong? Unfortunately, they could only watch. The battlefield was isolated, and they could not sense Lu Ming's specific cultivation. This little bastard, did Wang Yin and Wang Chen die at his hands? The head of the Wang family bellowed. His hatred for Lu Ming was insane. However, Martial Emperor Di was expressionless and calm. No one knew what he was thinking. Du Songjue, Yin Kuang-tu, Supreme Nine Sons, and the others smiled. As long as Lu Ming finds Qi Shui and finds a place to hide, he will be safe, said a senior elder of the Talisman Puppet sect. That's right, but Lu Ming has so many luck points now. Even if he doesn't get them, I'm afraid no one has more luck points than him in Battlefield number 8. When the time comes, he will still have to participate in the final 8 battles. The other person was a little worried and said with a heavy expression. Thinking of this, the others' faces also darkened. If one didn't have the strength, it would be very difficult to protect one's luck. Lu Ming was flying, and so was Luo Tian. A peerless genius from the Sky Demon Valley was also flying at full speed. They had to find Lu Ming as soon as possible, kill Lu Ming, and steal Lu Ming's luck points. They did not have much time, only an hour. If Lu Ming evaded them for an hour, they would not have a share of Lu Ming's immense karmic luck. Damn Lu Ming, where are you? Luo Tian roared. Suddenly, he saw a few people in front of him and immediately rushed over. Not good, it's Luo Tian. Run. When those people saw Luo Tian, they fled frantically. Die. Luo Tian revealed a ferocious expression as his demonic aura surged. He slashed out with his black demonic saber and killed 2 people instantly. I admit defeat. I admit defeat. The last person screamed crazily. As that person screamed, a pillar of light shrouded him and Luo Tian's saber light could not cut through him. The karmic luck dragon above his head devoured all the karmic luck of the 2 people he killed. The person who admitted defeat also had 90% of his luck points devoured. Then, the person who admitted defeat was sent out and landed on the spectator stand. The karmic luck dragon above Luo Tian's head grew by more than 20 feet. Too little. I still have to find Lu Ming. That chick from the talisman puppet sect is not bad either. Luo Tian's eyes were cold as he continued to fly. At this moment, Bai Chi Snow was struggling to resist. The defensive shield around her was constantly vibrating, and it seemed like it would not be able to hold on for much longer. Haha, work harder. This chick can't hold on for much longer. The golden-robed young man laughed. Among the 3 of them, the golden-robed young man was a newly risen Sky Pride. However, their strength was comparable to the top 100 Sky Prides on the list of top 1,000 talents. It was already considered good that Bai Chi Snow could hold on for so long when the 3 of them joined forces. Lu Ming is almost here. On the spectator stand, the eyes of Du Songjue and the others lit up. They were outside and had a high vantage point, so they could see everything clearly. At this moment, they saw Lu Ming rushing towards Bai Chi Snow. Oh no, Luo Tian is also rushing over there. One of the founding elders shouted. Their expressions were extremely ugly, and they could not help but clench their fists. Ha ha ha. In the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace, the patriarch of the Wang clan, the patriarch of the Jiang clan, and the others laughed. Lu Ming is destined to die in the hands of our Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace's Sky Prides. The patriarch of the Wang clan laughed heartily. Swoosh. Lu Ming traveled 100 miles in an instant, crossing countless deserts and stone cliffs under his feet. Along the way, he also encountered other geniuses. However, Lu Ming's speed was too fast. He flashed past them. Those geniuses with weaker cultivation levels did not dare to stop him at all. They fled one after another. Lu Ming was not in the mood to steal their luck. There's a battle ahead. That's Qi Shui. Lu Ming's eyes suddenly lit up when he saw Bai Chi Snow being surrounded by 3 young men. Rumble. His speed became even faster, bringing about a terrifying sonic boom. The golden-robed young man and the other 2 were shocked when they heard the terrifying sonic boom. They stopped and looked in the direction of the sonic boom. Lu Ming, it's Lu Ming. The 3 of them were shocked and hurriedly retreated. The 3 of them stood side by side with a grave look in their eyes. Although many people wanted to kill Lu Ming and steal Lu Ming's luck points, those were the Sky Prides who ranked at the top. As for the few of them, although their cultivation levels were not weak, they did not have the confidence to go against Lu Ming. Before the Battle of Providence, Lu Ming's combat strength was already very strong. They were only comparable to the top 100 Sky Prides on the list of top 1,000 talents, so they did not dare to underestimate Lu Ming. Swoosh. Lu Ming's figure appeared above Bai Chi Snow's head. Lu Ming, I knew you would come, Bai Chi Snow said with a smile. Looks like I'm not late. Lu Ming also smiled. At this moment, the golden-robed young man and the other 2 were secretly discussing. If the 3 of us joined forces, we might be able to kill Lu Ming. Do you want to take a gamble? The golden-robed young man secretly transmitted his voice. Take a gamble? If you want to take a gamble, go ahead. Idiots, didn't you see that Lu Ming's Providence Dragon has grown by more than 100 feet? In just a short while, his Providence Dragon has grown by more than 100 feet. There will definitely be experts stronger than us who will die at Lu Ming's hands. The Sky Prides of the Heavenly Corpse sect sneered and slowly retreated. The golden-robed young man and the Sky Prides of the Sky Demon Valley were shocked. Only then did they notice the change in Lu Ming's Providence Dragon. You want to leave? Did I say you could leave? Lu Ming looked at the golden-robed young man and the other two. The three of them were shocked. Lu Ming, what do you want? The golden-robed young man gritted his teeth. Of course I want your luck. Chapter 964. Lu Ming, don't go overboard. If the three of us join forces, we might be able to take you on. The golden-robed young man shouted. Is that so? If you think you can take me on, then let's do it. Lu Ming stepped forward, revealing a faint disdain. Haha, Lu Ming, you're really arrogant. Why are you so arrogant in front of a few pieces of trash? At this moment, a loud laugh sounded from afar. Then, a blade light tore through the void and flew over. Whoosh! The blade light disappeared and a black-robed young man appeared in the sky. It was the demon lord, Luo Tian. Luo Tian is here. Haha, Lu Ming is done for. The golden-robed young man was stunned for a moment before he burst into laughter. He wanted to run away, but now, he didn't. He looked at Lu Ming with a cold smile. Lu Ming, weren't you arrogant just now? Now that the demon lord is here, let's see how you're going to die. The golden-robed young man was also a sky pride of the Imperial Sky Guard and was familiar with Luo Tian. The two sky prides of the Sky Corps sect and Sky Demon Valley slowly retreated to a safe position and watched from afar. Lu Ming, did you kill my younger brother, Luoli? Luo Tian looked coldly at Lu Ming and asked. That's right. He wanted to die, so I could only fulfill his wish. If you want to die, I can also fulfill your wish. Lu Ming replied indifferently. Arrogant. It's useless to rely on your mouth. If we weren't on the Sky Poison Island, I could have suppressed you with a flip of my hand. Luo Tian said. Back when they were on the Sky Poison Island, Luo Tian was very clear about Lu Ming's combat ability. Although Lu Ming's combat ability was not weak, he was a far cry from his. He could easily kill him. Moreover, he had improved during this period of time. Both of your luck will belong to me. Luo Tian looked at Lu Ming and Bai Qi Snow with a burning gaze. The combined fate of Lu Ming and Bai Qi Snow exceeded 1,000,000. Once he obtained it, he would have a fate dragon that was hundreds of feet long. Since ancient times, how many people had a true dragon of luck that exceeded 1,000 feet? Only those rulers who participated in the War of Providence when they were young could achieve that, right? Luo Tian's heart was burning. Clang! The demonic saber was unsheathed and saber light tore through the sky. A terrifying saber light slashed towards Lu Ming. This slash was very sudden. Just as Luo Tian finished speaking, he suddenly attacked. He wanted to kill Lu Ming in one move, not giving Lu Ming a chance to admit defeat. The corner of Lu Ming's mouth twitched slightly as he sent out a palm strike towards Luo Tian's saber light. At this moment, all eyes were on Lu Ming. Lu Ming actually slashed his palm towards Luo Tian's saber light. Was he that confident? The hearts of the Talisman Puppet sect members involuntarily rose. Would Lu Ming be able to block it? This was a strike from Demon Lord Luo Tian, who ranked 10th on the list of top 1,000 talents. How terrifying was that? Many people from the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace looked ferocious. It was as if they could already see the scene of Lu Ming being split into two by the saber. Boom! Lu Ming's palm finally collided with the saber light. To everyone's surprise, the saber light shattered like fragile glass when Lu Ming's palm struck it. How dare you launch a sneak attack with such little power? Lu Ming sneered. Luo Tian's expression changed slightly. Although he did not use his full strength in that strike, he wanted to kill Lu Ming with one strike. The power of the strike was not weak, and it contained 50% of his strength. However, it was actually shattered by Lu Ming's palm strike. It seems that you have made great progress during this period, but you still have to die. I only used 50% of my strength in that strike. Luo Tian said coldly. Oh, 50% of your strength? I'm sorry, but I only used 10% of my strength in that strike. Lu Ming sneered. 10% of your strength? Ha ha ha, what a shameless boast. You're lying through your teeth. Die. Demonic aura surged from Luo Tian's body as a violent aura burst forth. The terrifying saber power filled the entire area. Not far away, the golden-robed youth was shocked and retreated frantically. Is this the strength of Demon Lord Luotian? It's too terrifying. The golden-robed youth was shocked. He felt that Luotian could kill him with a casual strike. The difference was too great. Peak of the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm? Lu Ming's lips curled into a smile. Luotian's cultivation was at the peak of the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. When they were on Sky Poison Island, Luotian's cultivation should have just broken through to the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Swoosh! The demonic saber was 1,000 meters long as it slashed down towards Lu Ming. Under this strike, the space distorted violently and vibrated as though it was going to be sliced apart. A dragon's roar rang out as Lu Ming burst forth with a burst of dragon's power. Densely packed scales appeared all over his body, and with a stomp, his body shot forward like a cannonball as he struck out with his palm. Lu Ming had already reached the peak of the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm, and his strength was extremely strong. With the addition of the dragon's power, the space was completely distorted when his palm struck out. Boom! The demonic saber was shattered, and Lu Ming's palm continued to push forward. Luotian's expression changed drastically. He had used almost 80% of his strength in this strike, yet it was still defeated by Lu Ming's palm. How was this possible? Could it be that what Lu Ming said about him only using 10% of his strength was true? Impossible? Luotian denied it in his heart. When they were on Sky Poison Island, Lu Ming was completely suppressed by him and only managed to escape by borrowing the environment of Sky Poison Island. He wasn't willing to believe that in just a few months, Lu Ming's battle power had already surpassed his. This was a huge blow to him. Blood transformation Devil Saber. Luotian shouted and slashed out with his demonic saber. However, Lu Ming's figure didn't stop at all. For colored concepts revolved around him as he charged forward and struck out with his palm. Pong, pong, pong. The saber lights that Luotian slashed out crumbled under Lu Ming's palm. This was a completely one-sided battle. Currently, Lu Ming's 3 kinds of concepts of heaven and earth were all at the peak of the 3rd level. He was only a step away from the 3rd level of perfection. As for the concept of earth, it was almost at the peak of the 3rd level of perfection. How terrifying would the power of the 4 kinds of concepts be? It was probably comparable to a 4th level concept. Luotian's concept was only at the 3rd level of perfection and not at the 4th level. In terms of concept, Lu Ming could crush Luotian. Boom, boom, boom. After more than 10 moves, Luotian's saber lights crumbled, and he retreated quickly. Many people on the spectator stand widened their eyes in shock. Impossible! Patriarch Wang, Patriarch Jiang, and the others let out a low roar in disbelief. Lu Ming's battle power was actually so terrifying? How is this possible? Du Songjue, Yin Kuang Tu, Supreme Nine Sons, and the others were also surprised, but more than that, they were happy. Lu Ming's battle power was also beyond their expectations. However, the stronger Lu Ming was, the happier they would be. Haha, I didn't expect Lu Ming to be in the top 10 of the list of top 1,000 talents. Brother Nine Sons, you have a good eye. Du Songjue stroked his beard and laughed. Lu Ming is also beyond my expectations. Chapter 965. The battle between Lu Ming and Luotian had reached its climax. Luotian was at a complete disadvantage. Bang! Lu Ming's palm landed on Luotian's shoulder. One of Luotian's arms almost exploded as he coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. Ah, damn it! Luotian roared as a demonic god appeared above his head. This demonic god had 3 heads and 6 arms. Each arm was holding a huge saber. 6 golden chakras were shining brightly. Luotian's 3rd bloodline was a level 6 divine bloodline. He was comparable to the patriarchs of the 6 ancient families. His talent was extremely terrifying. Now, 2 more dragon forces erupted from Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's body instantly appeared above Luotian's head as he stomped towards Luotian. A terrifying power surged towards Luotian. Luotian was about to perform bloodline fusion, but he didn't expect Lu Ming's speed to be so shocking. He instantly appeared above Luotian's head and unleashed a terrifying attack, interrupting the bloodline fusion. He could only use his saber to block. However, bang! The saber light he slashed out shattered under Lu Ming's feet. A terrifying power pressed down on his body, almost causing him to fall to the ground. Crack! His bones let out cracking sounds as though they were about to explode. He coughed out a mouthful of blood. How can he be so strong? How can his strength be so strong? Do I have to admit defeat? No, I can't admit defeat. How can I admit defeat to Lu Ming? At this moment, many thoughts flashed through Luo Tian's mind. But it was this one thought that decided his fate. Swish! Lu Ming's claws grew long and sharp nails. They were like dragon claws as they clawed at Luo Tian. All of Luo Tian's attacks and defenses exploded in Lu Ming's hands. The dragon-like claws pierced into Luo Tian's chest. No, I admit. At this moment, Luo Tian roared madly. He wanted to admit defeat, but Lu Ming's energy exploded, and Luo Tian's heart exploded. Luo Tian's cries came to an abrupt stop. His eyes widened as he stared at Lu Ming in disbelief. He could feel his life force rapidly leaving his body. Endless fear enveloped him. Was he going to die at the hands of Lu Ming? How could this be? In the next moment, everything before his eyes turned black, and he no longer knew anything. His life force had been extinguished. Impossible. Looking at this scene, the Wang clan's clan head roared furiously. Luo Tian, Lu Ming killed Luo Tian. Beside the Wang family head, an old man roared, his killing intent soaring to the heavens. This person was also a paragon of the Imperial Guards. He was Luo Tian's master. He simply could not accept that Luo Tian had actually died. Luo Tian possessed peerless natural talent, and his third bloodline was at the 6th rank of the God rank. Charging into the domain enlightened spirit God realm in the future was something that was 100% certain, and it was even to the extent that it was very likely that he would be able to charge into the Exalt realm. Luo Tian was a future paragon, but now he had died just like that. This was an extremely huge loss. How many paragons could there be in the entire Emperor Heaven Divine Palace? This generation had reached a golden age, where geniuses and experts were as numerous as clouds. In the past, a talent like Luo Tian's could suppress an era, and no one would be able to defeat him. Just like those paragons now, when they were young, they were almost invincible, and they defeated all their opponents to become paragons. It was very rare for an era to have a few supreme beings. But this era was different. With Luo Tian's talent, he could only be ranked 10th on the list of top 1,000 talents. Haha, well done. Yin Kuangtu laughed loudly, attracting many murderous gazes from the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. But Yin Kuangtu simply ignored them. Martial Emperor Di's face was still very calm, and there was not a trace of emotion in his eyes. It was as if he did not care about Luo Tian's death at all. This Lu Ming is quite interesting. A charming voice came from the Sky Demon Valley's side. This voice was so soft that it made people feel numb all over. It was the voice of a demon emperor. When many young people heard this voice, they felt hot all over and their hearts beat faster. Even the women were no exception. It was as if the voice of a demon emperor was full of infinite charm. It's quite interesting. The corpse emperor spoke. His voice was hoarse and very harsh. Many people wanted to vomit blood when they heard this voice, which was completely different from the demon emperor's voice. Some young people hurriedly operated their chi to stabilize themselves. On the battlefield, Lu Ming's devouring power burst out and devoured Luo Tian, turning him into a mummy. Rumble. Luo Tian's blood essence and genuine core force were very strong. Even his bloodline began to be refined rapidly. Roar. The Providence Dragon above Lu Ming's head directly swallowed Luo Tian's Providence Dragon. In an instant, Lu Ming's Providence Dragon increased by 200 feet. It soared to 117 feet, close to 120 feet. At this time, the color of Lu Ming's Dragon of Luck also changed. Originally, the Dragon of Luck was purple, but now it had turned into a purplish gold color. Not far away, the young man in the golden robe and the sky prides of the Heavenly Corpse sect and Sky Beastkin Valley widened their eyes. Luo Tian is dead. Luo Tian was killed by Lu Ming. How could this be? The young man in the golden robe muttered to himself, his eyes full of disbelief. In his eyes, Luo Tian was almost invincible, but he was killed by Lu Ming. This was a huge blow to him. Run, run. The young man in the golden robe was scared to death. When he thought of joining forces to deal with Lu Ming, he trembled in fear. Lu Ming could probably kill them easily without giving them a chance to fight back. In the distance, the sky prides of the Sky Beastkin Valley and Heavenly Corpse sect were also scared out of their wits. They turned around and ran. Did I say you could leave? Lu Ming looked at them coldly. He executed the 9 dragons' sky-stomping steps. His body was like a stream of light as he instantly approached the young man in the golden robe. I admit defeat. I admit defeat. The young man in the golden robe screamed. Suddenly, a beam of light shrouded him. Above Lu Ming's head, the purplish-gold Providence Dragon swallowed 90% of the young man's Providence Dragon. Then, the young man in the golden robe was sent out. Lu Ming did not stop. His speed was terrifyingly fast. In a short while, he was about to catch up with the sky prides of the Sky Beastkin Valley and Heavenly Corpse sect. The two of them were horrified and admitted defeat. In the end, 90% of their providence was swallowed by Lu Ming and sent out. Lu Ming, I knew you would come. Bai Qi Shui came to Lu Ming's side with a smile on her face. Let's go and seize the providence. Lu Ming smiled and turned around. Bai Qi Shui followed by his side. In the stands, the people of the Talisman Puppet sect revealed relaxed smiles. In the 8th battlefield, even Luo Tian had been killed by Lu Ming. There was no one who could threaten Lu Ming. The strongest sky pride of the demon race was only on par with Luo Tian. There were a few other sky prides who could transform their providence into dragons. They were definitely not Lu Ming's match. Lu Ming could be said to be unrestrained. Chapter 966. As for Lu Ming, there was no doubt that he would win first place in battlefield number 8. Now, he already had a Providence Dragon that was more than 120 feet long. In battlefield number 8, unless everyone's Providence was added together, they would not be able to compare with Lu Ming's. Next, Lu Ming went on a rampage. Anyone who met Lu Ming and was foolish enough to attack him would be killed by Lu Ming, while others would shout and admit defeat. Half an hour later, Lu Ming was followed by more than 10 disciples of the Talisman Puppet sect. Lu Ming wanted to lead them to the end. Oh no, Rukong is in danger. He's going to meet the Emperor God. A founding elder suddenly called out from the spectator stands. There was no more suspense in battlefield number 8. Everyone turned to look at the other battlefields. The people of the Talisman Puppet sect could not help but look at battlefield number 1. The genius of the Talisman Puppet sect, Rukong, was in battlefield number 1. Everyone could see that Rukong was in a hurry. The Providence Dragon above his head was about 200 feet long. On the other side, the Emperor God was flying toward Rukong at a terrifying speed. However, Rukong did not seem to notice him. At this rate, the two of them would soon meet. The people of the Talisman Puppet sect were nervous. Sure enough, the two of them met in just a dozen breaths. Rukong heard the noise and turned to look. His pupils shrank sharply. Rukong did not hesitate and was about to admit defeat. Die. At the same time, the Emperor God attacked. A sword light was unbelievably fast. It seemed to have pierced through layers of space in an instant and slashed Rukong's body. Before Rukong could say, I admit defeat, he was torn to pieces by the terrifying sword light. It was too fast. Rukong could not react in time. Rukong. Du Songjue roared in grief. How could this be? The other elders of the Talisman Puppet sect looked gloomy. Rukong was an expert second only to Huan Jian in the Talisman Puppet sect and ranked 15th on the list of top 1,000 talents. However, he was killed just like that. The Emperor God's battle strength was unfathomable. After killing Rukong and devouring his Providence Dragon, the Emperor God did not stop at all. He turned into a golden light and flew into the distance. Ha ha ha. Well done. The geniuses of your Talisman Puppet sect will all die. Although Lu Ming managed to keep his life, he will still die if he encounters an imperial god in the future. Mocking laughter rang out from the region of the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace. Du Songjue and the others clenched their fists tightly. The Talisman Puppet sect originally had 13 Zongzi candidates. Previously, 7 of them had perished. Now that another one had perished, there were only 5 left. Then, they looked at Wen Yuezhang and the others. Unfortunately, their luck wasn't good either. They encountered an elite that they couldn't defeat, but fortunately, they weren't killed in a single blow. They all admitted defeat one after another. As time passed, some people were killed, but even more people were defeated or admitted defeat and were teleported out of the battlefield. On the spectator stands, more and more people appeared. Many people sighed. After admitting defeat, they didn't have much luck left. Ruan Tingting also appeared on the grandstand. She had encountered a strong opponent and directly admitted defeat. And in the 8 battlefields, the killing became more and more intense. On the 8th battlefield, Lu Ming was almost invincible. Later on, several experts who had reached the dragon transformation realm encountered Lu Ming. However, when they saw Lu Ming's Providence dragon that was hundreds of feet long, their faces changed drastically and they turned to flee. They weren't fools. Needless to say, those who had plotted against Lu Ming had given their luck to Lu Ming since Lu Ming had survived until now and his Providence dragon had soared by dozens of feet. What were they waiting for? However, with Lu Ming's speed, how could they escape? In the end, they admitted defeat one after another. In the end, Lu Ming's true dragon of luck was almost 150 feet long. It was hovering in the sky, and one could see it from afar. Those who saw it from afar had a drastic change of expression. They turned and ran. Even the genius from the Sky Monster Valley, who was as famous as Luo Tian, ran faster than anyone else. This made Lu Ming feel a little depressed. They were too far apart, and it was more troublesome for him to chase after them. Moreover, he was afraid that he would be lured away, and the Talisman Puppet sect disciples would be in danger. Therefore, Lu Ming could not be bothered to chase after them. The outcome of the 8th battlefield had been decided, and so was the 1st battlefield. The other battlefields were filled with smoke. Huan Zhun has encountered Dongfang Yu. An elder from the Talisman Puppet sect shouted. The others looked at the 4th battlefield with their hearts in their mouths. The experts from the other forces also looked at the 4th battlefield. Huan Zhun and Dongfang Yu were going to be a top battle. Huan Zhun was ranked 8th on the list of top 1,000 talents, while Dongfang Yu was ranked 3rd, second only to Di Shun and Xue Jiani. As soon as the two of them met, a fierce battle broke out. However, it was obvious that Dongfang Yu was stronger, but Huan Zhun didn't want to make any mistakes. Huan Zhun was like a bright moon. His entire body glowed, and bright moons appeared in front of him, blocking Huan Zhun's attack. This was an extremely powerful defensive formation that was many times stronger than the one Jimai had used to inscribe with his own body. At the same time, inscription arrays constantly appeared beside Huan Zhun. At the same time, inscription talismans were activated. All kinds of light flashed and defensive formations were formed. Although Dongfang Yu was extremely powerful, Huan Zhun was focused on defense. It was impossible for him to break through in a short time. The two of them were in a stalemate. In the end, Dongfang Yu had no choice but to retreat. The people from the Talisman Puppet sect heaved a sigh of relief. The people from the Emperor God Divine Palace snorted unhappily. They felt that it was a pity that Dongfang Yu didn't kill Huan Zhun. At this moment, Fatty and Wang Finshan were fighting in the 2nd battlefield. Die! When Wang Finshan saw Fatty, he exploded with killing intent and launched a fierce attack. He knew that Fatty was the disciple of the demonic Sky Divine Emperor, but this was a battle of luck. Even if he killed Fatty, the demonic Sky Divine Emperor couldn't say anything. Damn it, you're still 10,000 years too early to kill me. Fatty shouted and unleashed his bloodline. The 3rd bloodline, 8 golden chakras, almost made Wang Finshan's eyes pop out. Even the spiritual gods and supremes in the stands couldn't control their emotions. They stood up from the stands with a face of shock. 8th level divine bloodline. It's actually an 8th level divine bloodline. This is too terrifying. Except for the sovereigns, everyone was shocked. Senior demonic skies disciple is indeed extraordinary. Supreme 9 Yang sighed. Du Songjue and the others nodded. They had seen Fatty before, but they didn't expect this unreliable Fatty to be so terrifying. As expected of the sovereign's disciple. Damn it! The Wang family head and the others were shocked. An 8th-level divine bloodline was rare in the world. For example, Yin Kuang-tu was an 8th-level divine bloodline. He was so powerful that he could fight against 3 Supremes alone. They remembered that Fatty was Lu Ming's life and death brother. Finchin, kill this Fatty. Kill him? The Wang family head roared. This Fatty was too terrifying. Once he grew up, he would be another Yin Kuang-tu. Chapter 967. Old Monster Mo Tion's eyesight is not bad to have taken in such a disciple. Demon Emperor's soft voice rang out again. Martial Emperor De and the Corpse Emperor's eyes lit up. Even martial emperors were tempted by someone who could awaken an 8th-level divine bloodline. So what if you are an 8th-level divine bloodline? I can still kill you. Wang Finchin launched a terrifying attack towards Fatty. Although Fatty's bloodline was of a high grade, his cultivation was slightly weaker. It looked like he had just broken through to the 6th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. However, Fatty didn't want to make any mistakes. He was on the defensive the whole time. In the end, he took out a huge shield to isolate Wang Finchin's flames. Wang Finchin continued to attack. Fatty shouted, but he could not break through the shield. Time continued to pass. Suddenly, the 8 battlefields shook and the light shield shone brightly. All the people in the battlefields were teleported out. An hour was up. Haha, you want to deal with me? Dream on. Fatty found himself on the spectator's stand. He laughed arrogantly and looked at Wang Finchin provocatively. Wang Finchin's eyes were about to spit fire. Fatty, you have awakened an 8th-level divine bloodline. Impressive. At this moment, a huge axe was floating above Fatty's head. 8 golden chakras were shining brightly. Bai Qi Shui widened her eyes and looked at Fatty in shock. Lu Ming was also surprised. He did not expect Fatty's 3rd bloodline to be so terrifying. It was actually an 8th-level divine bloodline. No wonder Fatty was so mysterious when they first met. When Lu Ming asked him, he did not say anything. Countless pairs of eyes were looking at Fatty. Some were shocked, some were envious, and some were jealous. Ha ha ha, excuse me. This is talent. It can't be helped. I was born with it. Fatty was extremely proud and laughed heartily. When he saw others looking at him, he felt extremely comfortable. He laughed so hard that he could not even open his eyes. God is so unfair. He actually let this damn Fatty awaken an 8th-level divine bloodline. Someone in Emperor Heaven Divine Palace gritted his teeth. That's right. What a waste. It's like a flower being stuck in cow dung. Someone said again. The Fatty's ears twitched a few times. When he heard these words, he was instantly displeased. He stared at these people with an unfriendly gaze and shouted, "You guys are the fucking cow dung. Every single one of you is just envious and jealous. I am a proud son of heaven. In the future, I am destined to dominate the world and trample all of you under my feet." Damn it, this damn Fatty is really arrogant. Those people almost vomited blood from anger. Dishun, Shuejiani, Ao2, and the others also looked at Fatty solemnly. Fatty's cultivation was still low, but once he grew stronger, he would become their greatest enemy. At this time, many people looked at Lu Ming and were stunned. The dragon of luck above Lu Ming's head was too big and long. It was 1,000 feet long. It was too shocking. They had originally thought that Lu Ming would definitely be killed by Luo Tian or the geniuses of the Sky Demon Valley in Battlefield number 8. They had not expected him to still be alive. Moreover, the length of his Dragon of Providence had become even more terrifying. What? Lu Ming killed Luo Tian. When they found out the truth, they were all dumbfounded. Lu Ming could actually kill Luo Tian? How could Lu Ming's combat strength be so strong? Before the start of the battle, some people had thought that Luo Tian and the others were lucky to be assigned to the same battlefield as Lu Ming. Now, their faces were pale and cold sweat was dripping down their backs. This was not good luck, it was bad luck. If they had been assigned to battlefield number 8, they might have suffered the same fate as Luo Tian. They knew that they had underestimated Lu Ming. Di Shun and the others looked at Lu Ming with surprise. At this time, the 8 battlefields on the fighting ring had all disappeared and returned to their original appearance. At the same time, 8 rays of light fell on the 8 people. They were Lu Ming, Di Shen, Ao2, Shuejiani, Shizhan, Fengxian, Dongfangyu, and Wang Finchen. These 8 people were the 8 people with the highest providence value in the 8 battlefields. Among them, Lu Ming was the only one from the Talisman Puppet sect. Di Shen, Dongfangyu, and Wang Finchen had the most people from Di Shen's palace. Shuejiani and Shizhan were the 2 from Heavenly Corpse sect. Ao2 and Fengxian were the 2 from Sky Monster Valley. Fengxian was an extremely beautiful woman and a peerless genius from Sky Monster Valley. She had the phoenix bloodline in her body. Next, the 8 geniuses would compete for each other's providence. The rules were the same as before. If you were defeated, half of your providence would be taken away. If you admitted defeat, 90% of your providence would be taken away. If you were killed, all of your providence would belong to your opponent. Next was the final battle of the Providence Battle. It was also the most powerful battle. Every one of them was extremely powerful. Among them, Lu Ming was a dark horse. There was another dark horse, Fengxian from Sky Monster Valley. Both of them were rising geniuses. The others were all famous geniuses in the Eastern Wilderness. Ao2 was considered a genius who could compete with Di Shen. Some people thought that Ao2 was stronger than Shuejiani, who ranked second on the list of top 1,000 talents. Di Shen ranked first on the list of top 1,000 talents. Most people thought that Di Shen was the top genius of the younger generation in the Eastern Wilderness and was invincible. Dongfangyu ranked third on the list of top 1,000 talents. Shizhan ranked fourth on the list of top 1,000 talents. Wang Finchen ranked fifth on the list of top 1,000 talents. Everyone was looking forward to the next battle. After this battle, the list of top 1,000 talents would be rearranged. Buzz. Of the 8 rays of light, 6 had disappeared, leaving only 2 behind. One light shrouded Lu Ming, while the other shrouded Wang Finchen. The first battle was between Lu Ming and Wang Finchen. Everyone's eyes fell on the 2 of them. Wang Finchen looked at Lu Ming with a strong killing intent in his eyes. "Finchen, are you confident?" the Wang clan leader asked. "His providence is mine." Wang Finchen licked his lips with a greedy look. He moved and landed on the fighting ring. "Lu Ming, if you can't beat him, you can admit defeat," Du Songjue warned in a low voice. "Haha, I believe that Lu Ming will win." Yin Guangtu laughed. "Fatty, you were burned by this guy. I'll avenge you now." Lu Ming smiled. He took a step forward and landed on the fighting ring. Both of them had a true dragon of providence above their heads. Right now, Wang Finchen's true dragon of providence was a full 500 feet long. However, in front of Lu Ming's true dragon of providence, it looked like a tiny dot. Lu Ming's true dragon of providence looked down on it. "Lu Ming, I have to thank you for getting so much providence. It's all mine later." The greed in Wang Finchen's eyes grew stronger. "You're very confident. Luo Tian was so confident before, but I killed him in the end." Lu Ming smiled, revealing a contemptuous expression. "Humph, don't compare me with Luo Tian. I can kill him if I fight with all my strength." Wang Finchen said coldly. "Oh, really? Shall we have a life and death duel?" Chapter 968. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. In the ancient battle platform of the ancient city of Providence, a life and death battle could be set. However, once it was set, both sides had to fight to the death. If they did not fight to the death, it would not end. They could not even admit defeat. Originally, the last battle would only last for half an hour. If the winner was not decided after half an hour, the winner would be automatically determined. However, once the life and death battle was set, there would be no time limit. It would only end when one side died in battle. Setting the life and death battle meant that there was no way out. One had to win. If one lost, one would die. Even sovereigns and rulers could not interfere. One had to be extremely confident in themselves to set the life and death battle. Would Wang Finchen dare to agree? Everyone's eyes were focused on Wang Finchen. At this moment, Wang Finchen's eyes were uncertain. He stared at Lu Ming as if he wanted to see through him. Was Lu Ming bluffing, or was he really that strong? Did he dare to have a life and death battle with him? However, Lu Ming's expression was calm. He could not tell at all. Moreover, he did not see the specific situation in the battle between Lu Ming and Luo Tian. He was not sure about Lu Ming's strength. Do you dare or not? Lu Ming spoke again. His voice was calm but aggressive. Why should I agree to the life and death battle? Anyway, I'm definitely going to win this battle. Wang Finshan quibbled. Ridiculous. Since you think you're going to win, why don't you agree to the life and death battle? Back in Nine Dragon City, your Wang family's patriarch was almost killed by me. You must hate me to the bone, right? You want to kill me 10,000 times. Since you want to kill me and have the confidence to do so, why don't you agree to the life and death battle? There's only one reason. You're afraid. You're not confident in killing me. You're not confident in this battle. If you're not confident in yourself, how can you defeat me? Lu Ming's words hit Wang Finshan's heart. Every word hit Wang Finshan's vital point. If Wang Finshan did not even have the confidence to win, how could he defeat Lu Ming? Damn you, little bastard! The head of the Wang family growled as his eyes were filled with cold killing intent. That day in the Nine Dragon City, he was almost beaten to death by Lu Ming. This was the shame of his life. Now, Lu Ming actually brought up the old matter again, and even used it to pressure Wang Finshan. This made the head of the Wang family furious. Haha, Lu Ming, you almost killed the old one. How could a young one dare to fight you to the death? I think that Wang something Tian should just admit defeat. Don't embarrass yourself here. The Wang clan is a bunch of cowards. The fatty laughed loudly, and his words were even more insulting. The patriarch of the Wang clan and Wang Finshan almost exploded from anger. At this time, Wang Finshan's face was flushed red. He was burning with anger, and his killing intent was blazing. All right, I promise you. Wang Finshan roared. He had to win this battle. After hearing Lu Ming's words, if he still did not win, his martial arts heart would be unstable. Moreover, the entire Wang family would become the laughingstock of Eastern Wilderness. He wanted to grind Lu Ming's bones and turn him into ashes. All right, I will fight to the death with Wang Finshan, Lu Ming said loudly. Fight to the death, Wang Finshan replied. A blazing aura rushed into the sky. Buzz. At this moment, a faint bloodlight appeared on Lu Ming and Wang Finshan's bodies. This meant that the fight to the death had been set. It was useless to admit defeat until one of them died. Raging flames burned the sky. Wang Finshan's killing intent was cold, but his body was filled with raging flames. Wang Finshan seemed to have turned into a man of fire. His muscles, bones, and even his hair were burning as if they had all turned into flames. 6 fingers burned the sky. Destroy with 1 finger. Wang Finshan strode forward and pointed his finger. A finger was formed by flames. It was hundreds of meters long and had clear fingerprints on it. It was like the finger of a god. It pointed towards Lu Ming. A terrifying heat and killing intent burst out and surged towards Lu Ming. Wang Finshan used a terrifying killing move as soon as he made his move. Since he had agreed to the fight to the death, Wang Finshan let go of everything and fought with all his might. A dragon's roar sounded. Lu Ming burst out with a dragon's power. His body was covered with scales and surrounded by 4 types of concepts. He punched out. Boom. The fist and Finshan's finger collided. The fist and the flaming finger collided, and waves of energy burst out. One side of the 100-mile-long and wide battle stage was covered with purple flames, while the other side was covered with 4 colors. In the end, the flaming finger exploded. Lu Ming's body trembled slightly, and he took 2 steps back. The fusion of the destruction concept and the fire concept, and the cultivation of the early stage of the 8th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. After exchanging a blow, Lu Ming had a rough idea of Wang Finshan's strength. Wang Finshan had comprehended 2 concepts and successfully fused them. The destruction concept and the fire concept had reached the 3rd level of perfection. When they fused together, their destructive power was terrifying. If this was not the ancient city of Fate's battle stage, it would have been destroyed and turned into lava. Moreover, Wang Finshan's cultivation was higher than Luo Tian's. He had reached the early stage of the 8th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Wang Finshan was indeed a peerless genius ranked 5th on the list of top 1,000 talents. His strength was terrifying. 6 fingers burned the sky. Suppress with 2 fingers. 6 fingers burn the sky. Destroy with 3 fingers. 6 fingers burn the sky. Destroy with 4 fingers. Wang Finshan's flaming vital essence burst out as he pointed 3 fingers. The 3 huge fingers formed a triangle and slammed towards Lu Ming. Prison suppressing heaven skill. The vital essence in Lu Ming's body roared and boiled as he activated the prison suppressing heaven skill to 50% of its power. If he used the prison suppressing heaven skill at full strength, it would be equivalent to the power of a low-grade divine martial technique. A low-grade divine martial technique was equivalent to the first level of a low-grade divine martial technique. Only an expert of the spiritual god realm could unleash its full power. Now that he had reached the peak of the 7th level of spirit embryo realm, he did not have enough vital essence to unleash its full power. However, 50% of its power was still terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Ming punched 3 times in a row as the power of the prison suppressing steel erupted and suppressed everything. The 3 flaming fingers were immediately destroyed and dissipated into flames. Wang Finshan's expression changed slightly as he waved his hands and pointed 2 more fingers. 6 fingers burn the sky. Shatter 5 fingers. Burn the sky with 6 fingers. The 2 finger forces struck out one after another, causing the space to tremble like a piece of cloth. Wherever the finger forces passed, the space turned into a vacuum. Lu Ming felt a terrifying power surging towards him. This power was incomparably hot, as if it wanted to turn him into ashes. 4 kinds of concepts revolved around him and formed a battle armor that covered his entire body. Lu Ming took a big step forward and punched out 2 more times in a row. 2 earth-shattering explosions rang out as if the entire ancient city of fate was violently shaking. Terrifying energy swept out in all directions. However, when it reached the edge of the battle stage, it was blocked by an invisible energy and couldn't charge over it all. The 2 flaming fingers were destroyed by Lu Ming's attack and collapsed. Chapter 969. Wang Finshan's expression became very grave. He did not show any mercy. His first move was a killer move. He wanted to kill Lu Ming with powerful means. He did not expect Lu Ming to be so terrifying that he could defeat his attack and kill him. A purple flame floated above his head. As soon as this flame appeared, the space around it began to crackle. It was as if space itself was fuel that was being burned by this flame. The 7 golden chakras on this ball of flame also attracted everyone's attention. Level 7 Divine Class Bloodline. Wang Finshan's bloodline had reached the terrifying level of Level 7's Divine Class. Wang Finshan's body turned into light and merged with the bloodline. Then, the purple flame twisted and turned into a flame giant that was more than 10 meters tall. The flame giant held a flame sword and slashed at Lu Ming. The scorching flame made Lu Ming's 4-color intent realm tremble. Kill. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with killing intent. The 9 dragons' bloodline appeared. In the next moment, Lu Ming turned into 9 dragons. Level 6 Divine Class 9 Dragons Bloodline. At this moment, everyone's eyes were fixed on Lu Ming and the 9 dragons' bloodline. It's the 9 dragons, the legendary 9 dragons. I didn't expect Lu Ming to awaken the 9 dragons' bloodline. God, the 9 dragons are more powerful than the real dragons. I've never heard of anyone who could awaken the 9 dragons' bloodline. As soon as the 9 dragons' bloodline appeared, there were exclamations, especially those from Emperor Sky Divine Palace and Sky Demon Valley. The 9 dragons' bloodline, it's the 9 dragons' bloodline. No wonder he can control the divine 9 dragon cauldron. It must be related to the 9 dragons' bloodline. The Wang family head muttered to himself, the 9 dragons' bloodline. I must get it. A flood dragon supremacy from the demon clan stared at Lu Ming with burning eyes. He could not wait to swallow Lu Ming. AO2, the flood dragon clan sky prides, also had burning eyes. The 9 dragons' bloodline was a fatal temptation for the flood dragon clan's elders. Back then, you personally attacked and wanted to capture Lu Ming. It seems that you already knew that he had the 9 dragons' bloodline. Your goal was the 9 dragons' bloodline, right? Said the Imperial Bestial Beast. 2 bright eyes fell on Imperial Bestial D. Many people's hearts trembled. Perhaps that was really the case. Humph. Emperor D snorted and didn't say anything. Roar. On the fighting ring, dragon roars shook the sky. The 9 dragons stepped on the sky, and the 9 claws grabbed Wang Finchen's battle sword. A rumbling sound rang out, and the battle sword collapsed. The dragon claw didn't stop, and it continued to attack. The flame giant roared angrily. Its terrifying fist blasted towards Lu Ming, but it was blocked by a dragon claw. Bang, bang, bang. The 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps were executed consecutively. 6 consecutive waves of power blasted towards the flame giant. At the same time, he opened his mouth and devouring power burst out, enveloping the flame giant. Immediately, the flames on the flame giant's body trembled non-stop, as if they were about to collapse. Whoosh! The divine dragon swings its tail. The 9 tails lashed out at the flame giant. This move contained the power of the suppressing hell skill. Bang! The flame giant was heavily hit by the dragon's tail. A large part of its huge body exploded, and a huge gap appeared on its body. The flame giant staggered back. The gap on its body quickly healed, and the flames once again filled the air. Raging flames, sky-burning sword. The flame giant roared angrily. The battle sword in his hand slashed out a blazing sword light, slashing towards the 9 dragons' heads. However, the 9 dragons' sharp claws blocked his sword. The 2 of them fought fiercely, and in the blink of an eye, they had exchanged dozens of moves. Of course, during this process, Lu Ming only released a strand of dragon force. He didn't use his full strength. Wang Finchen was only his first opponent. There would be stronger opponents later. His final opponent was Di Shan. Wang Finchen's strength was indeed terrifying. If he fought with Luo Tian at the same level, he would be stronger than Luo Tian. However, although Wang Finchen was strong, Lu Ming was stronger. After dozens of moves, he was completely suppressed by Lu Ming. Puff, puff. The 9 dragons roared and grabbed the flame giant with their claws. They tore the flame giant apart, turning it into flames. However, the flames retreated and started to condense in the air again. The advantage of having a natural bloodline was that it had extremely tenacious vitality. However, Lu Ming wouldn't give him the chance. He stomped his dragon claws and unleashed the 9 dragon sky-stomping steps. A huge force bombarded the flames. The flames that were about to condense exploded again. At this moment, everyone's eyes were fixed on the scene. Was Wang Finchen going to be defeated? Was this peerless genius who had awakened a level 7 divine bloodline going to be killed by Lu Ming? No, damn it. The Wang family head's heart was in his mouth. He was the most nervous. Wang Finchen was a rare peerless genius of the Wang family. He was even more talented than him when he was young. He was going to inherit his legacy in the future. However, he was in danger now, because this was a life and death battle. Only when one side died would they stop. But now, Wang Finchen was completely suppressed. Roar! The 9 dragons roared and a devouring force erupted from their mouths. They swallowed the flames that Wang Finchen had exploded into. No! Wang Finchen's horrified scream could be heard from the flames. The flames that were devoured by the 9 dragons were constantly being refined by the terrifying refining force of the 9 dragons. Don't you have strong vitality and can condense? Then I'll refine you. The remaining flames quickly flew backward and gathered together to form Wang Finchen's appearance. At this moment, his face was pale and his body was trembling. Blood kept flowing out from the corner of his mouth. His eyes revealed a strong sense of horror. Bam! Bam! The 9 dragons stepped forward and pressed towards Wang Finchen. No, Lu Ming, don't kill me. Let me go. Wang Finchen screamed in horror and retreated. He had no strength to fight anymore. Let you go? Have you forgotten that this is a life and death battle? Lu Ming sneered. You're the winner. You're the winner now. If the winner speaks, he can let the opponent go. Wang Finchen shouted. A life and death battle was a battle of life and death. Usually, it would only end when one side died. Of course, there was another situation where the winner took the initiative to let the opponent go. However, since it was a life and death battle, how could the winner let the opponent go? Haha, Wang Finchin, are you kidding me? Why should I let you go? Lu Ming laughed. Wang Finchin was speechless. That's right. Why should Lu Ming let him go? They were mortal enemies. However, he really didn't want to die. With his peerless talent, he would have no problem becoming a supreme being in the future. He even wanted to become the supreme emperor and dominate the eastern wilderness. He had a boundless future. Why would he want to die? However, why should he ask Lu Ming to let him go? He couldn't help but look at the Wang family head. Lu Ming, let Finchin go. I won't pursue the past. Chapter 970. Old man, who do you think you are? Lu Ming glanced at the head of the Wang clan and continued. You still say you won't pursue the matter? You and those old men attacked me together. I should be the one to pursue the matter. Do I need you to not pursue the matter? Ridiculous. His calm voice was filled with contempt. It spread throughout the place, making some people stunned. Contempt? This was blatant contempt. Lu Ming was looking down on a prime. The head of the Wang clan said he would not pursue the matter, but Lu Ming's meaning was clear. Did he need the head of the Wang clan to not pursue the matter? The one who should pursue the matter was him, Lu Ming. What a big tone. What a big confidence. However, at this moment, no one thought that Lu Ming was arrogant. Wang Finchin had been defeated by Lu Ming. He had the right to be arrogant. In the future, he would have a great chance to become a prime. At that time, why would he be afraid of the head of the Wang clan? The head of the Wang clan was red in the face. He was furious. How many years had it been? Since he had become a prime, no one had dared to talk to him like that. No one had dared to look down on him like that. Even the other primes were polite to him. Now, he was being looked down on by a young man in his 20s. This was an insult to him. Lu Ming turned back into his human form. He sneered and said, Old man, you said you won't pursue the matter, but can you represent the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace? Then, he looked at Martial Emperor Di. The head of the Wang clan and the others also looked at Martial Emperor Di. That's right. The head of the Wang clan was not in charge of the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace, but Martial Emperor Di. At this moment, Martial Emperor Di looked at Lu Ming with cold eyes. Lu Ming was not afraid at all. He looked at Martial Emperor Di with a hint of provocation. Everyone was shocked. Lu Ming was simply audacious. He actually dared to look at Martial Emperor Di in such a manner. However, Martial Emperor Di did not say anything. The light in his eyes disappeared, and he became calm again. The head of the Wang clan looked terrible. Wang Finchin was in despair. Martial Emperor Di's attitude explained everything. Kill. Suddenly, Lu Ming moved. His body moved like lightning as he rushed towards Wang Finchin. No! Wang Finchin roared, trying his best to resist. However, he was currently heavily injured and did not have much strength left. How could he be Lu Ming's match? In just a few moves, his bones and tendons were already snapped. Spurting large mouthfuls of blood, he collapsed to the ground like a dying dog. Bang! Bang! Lu Ming stepped on the fighting stage and condensed a long spear in his hand. He walked towards Wang Finchin with a cold killing intent covering his whole body. No, don't kill me. I don't want to die. Wang Finchin roared. His body kept twisting as he tried to escape. His eyes were filled with endless fear. In his entire life, he had killed countless geniuses. Who knew how many of them he had slain? But now that he was about to die in the hands of another genius, he could not help but feel fear. Whoosh! Under everyone's gaze, the spear pierced through Wang Finchin's heart. Powerful energy erupted and crushed Wang Finchin's heart. Patriarch, avenge me! Wang Finchin let out an unwilling roar. Then, his life was extinguished. A genius of the generation had been killed by Lu Ming. The crowd sighed. If such a genius did not die, he would definitely become a figure who dominated the eastern wilderness in the future. It would not be a problem for him to become a supreme being. Unfortunately, there were countless geniuses in the world, but how many of them could grow up? A dead genius was destined to be a stepping stone for others. Lu Ming, I will kill you. The Wang family head roared, emitting a cold killing intent. His eyes were red, and his heart was bleeding. This time, the Wang family had suffered a great loss. The Wang family had a total of 4 geniuses ranked in the top 100 of the list of top 1,000 talents. However, 2 of them had died before this. Now, even Wang Finchen, who was the most talented, had died. Now, the Wang family was left with only 1 genius. Originally, the Wang family had 4 geniuses ranked in the top 100 of the list of top 1,000 talents. It was as if the Wang family would rise quickly, surpass the other 5 ancient families, and become the leader of the ancient families in Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. But now, everything was in vain. His hatred for Lu Ming could not be washed away even with all the water in the world. Old man, that's what I wanted to say as well. Right now, it's just a little interest. In the future, I'll personally take your dog head. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Wang Yin and Wang Chun were also killed by me. Lu Ming said coldly with a cold smile on his face. You deserve to die. The Wang family head roared angrily. As a supreme being who had lived for thousands of years, he had a strong mind and had seen many storms. He would not get angry so easily. However, he could not remain calm in front of Lu Ming. In the Battle of 9 Dragons, he was almost beaten to death by Lu Ming. Now, many geniuses of the Wang family had died at the hands of Lu Ming. He hated Lu Ming to the core. If it were not for the fact that his cultivation was completely suppressed in the ancient city of fate, he would have turned Lu Ming into ashes immediately. He took a few deep breaths to calm down. At this moment, Lu Ming's Dragon of Fate had devoured Wang Finchen's Dragon of Fate. Lu Ming's Dragon of Fate had grown to almost 200 feet. At the same time, the devouring power erupted and devoured Wang Finchen into a mummy. Then, he took his storage ring and kicked him off the fighting ring. The Wang family head was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Lu Ming moved and returned to the spectator stand. Haha, amazing. Lu Ming, you've avenged me. That Wang Finchen was so arrogant and dared to burn me with fire. Now, he's a dead dog. The fat man laughed so excitedly that his mouth cracked. Also, Lu Ming, did you see that old man from the Wang family was so angry that his face turned red and smoke came out of his head? It was so exciting. The fat man continued to laugh. He did not lower his voice at all, and it spread throughout the arena. The Wang family head, who had just calmed down, was furious again. He was so angry that he trembled all over. These juniors deserve to die, he roared in his heart. Yin Kuangtu drank a few mouthfuls of wine and laughed heartily. The others were a little speechless. These people were simply lawless. They did not know how to write the word fear. Then, the battle continued. 2 more beams of light fell on 2 figures. Ao2 from Heavenly Demon Valley and Dongfangyu from Emperor Heaven's Divine Palace. Many people's eyes suddenly shone with amazing light. It was another exciting battle. Dongfangyu ranked 3rd on the list of top 1,000 talents, while Ao2 was said to be able to compete with Emperor gods. The battle between the two would definitely be exciting. The 2 figures landed on the fighting ring. Without saying anything, the battle immediately broke out. Dongfangyu was extremely powerful. He had cultivated 2 divine-level cultivation techniques, and his cultivation was at the early stage of the 8th tier of Spirit Embryo Realm. His bloodline was the same as Wang Finchen's, a 7th divine-level bloodline. Dongfangyu's overall strength was slightly stronger than Wang Finchen's. However, Ao2 was stronger. Ao2 had more than 70% of the bloodline of a real dragon, almost 80%. He transformed into a flood dragon and fought with Dongfangyu like a real dragon. The two fought fiercely for more than 50 moves. In the end, Dongfangyu was defeated and admitted defeat, losing 90% of his luck. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.